Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. I appreciate y'all being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for the very first time, welcome as well. It's good to have you. And our topic for you today, it's 6 steps to improving your gym sales process. It's 6 steps to improving your gym sales process. Now, before we get into our topic here today, just a quick reminder, my focus, my mission here in the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I can to as many people as I can, across the globe. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel. So if you've not yet done so, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And then to learn more about me, learn more about my company and how we can help take your business that next level, be sure to check out those links below. And then for you folks who are looking to open a new gym, you need funding. You have an existing operation. You need funding for growth, for expansion, maybe to pay some bills. We can provide funding for up to $400,000 that is unsecured. There's no restrictions on use. The basic qualification for that program, it's a minimum credit score of 680 or better in all 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and a minimum income of $50,000 per year each of the 2 previous years. Check out the links below under financing and funding for more information on that particular program, as well as additional options on how we can help with funding for your business, for help you in your growth. And so with that said, let's get into our topic here, and it's 6 steps to improve your gym sales process. Okay, because the reality is, we need to drive people in that front door, but if we drive them in, we have to be able to convert them. If we don't convert them, driving them in is not really helping a whole lot. Okay, so we want to get a process in place. So I want to give you some things to think about to help improve the gym sales process. Number 1, map out your current process. Map it out. Do you know what your current process is? Okay, map it out. And so if we're going to train a brand new person, what will we tell them to do? Okay, too often we'll say, go talk to Mary, she'll show you. She'll show you what she does. And really what my recommendation is, you want to stay away from, here's what I do. What does your company do? Because if you have folks that are saying, here's what I do, when they leave, they take all that with them. What you want is a process that everybody can do, that you can manage, you can oversee, you can kind of keep it between the lines, to help you get the results you're looking for. You can also check the channel here. We have several other training videos on sales process and things you can look at. But map out your current process. Do we know exactly what it is? Do we know why we're doing it? Do we know the benefits of it? One of the things too, when you're kind of thinking about process, we're always trying to be easy to do business with. We're always trying to be easy to do business with, and we're always trying to solve problems for our customers. So that's all kind of part of the mix there a little bit. Number 2, on 6 steps to improving your gym sales process, make sure you define your KPIs. Your KPIs are your key performance indicators. Okay? And if we're going to improve, we have to know the numbers. Because ultimately, you're going to manage based on these numbers. Here's where you want to be. Here's where we're at. Every day, we're going to make decisions on these. And just in terms of kind of the selling process, what are some of your key performance indicators? For example, how many new leads does each salesperson, how many are they expected to generate every day? 10 new leads a day? 5? 20? What's the number? How many new leads do you require your sales team to bring in every day? Because the reality is, unless you're generating new leads, your pipeline is going to run dry at some point, and you're not going to have anybody to talk to. So how many new leads? And again, check the channel for other training classes on how to generate those leads, but new leads. Next thing I'd be looking at is how many outbound calls. Picking up the phone, talking to somebody, how many outbound calls are they expected to make every day? And then, of course, you're comparing this to what's actually being done. How many contacts? They make a certain number of outbound calls. How many contacts are you expecting? How many appointments are you expecting? What's your show ratio? What are you expecting? What is your conversion ratio? How about referrals at point of sale? How about the second sale? There's a lot of things in here. And you can, all these videos are on the channel. You can check all this. But understand those KPIs. Do you have a sales goal? Do you have a cash goal? Do you have a recurring dues goal? Do we know what our projections are in each category? Because we're going to manage based on this. But you have to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you simply don't know. Number 3, follow up and measure performance. Follow up and measure performance. And so, follow up is one of the key things at so many levels. We have to make sure we're following up. Okay, ownership and management and directors, we're following up because what we're trying to do is we want to create this atmosphere that allows a motivated person to act. And the way I look at it from that management standpoint, we've got a train going down the track, and we're going to pat it here and pat it here, keep that train going straight. Okay, and so we're going to follow up, but we want our staff to follow up. Okay, what does our outbound calling look like? Are we nurturing our customers? Because the reality is, what I see with clubs that really do not do a good job of follow-up, which is, quite frankly, it's most of them, you start doing it right, you can improve your performance by 20%. You can improve your sales by 20%. The good news for you owners is these are on leads you've already bought and paid for. Okay, so there's opportunity in there, and there's opportunity for your sales team to make money and measure performance. Look at those KPIs. How's each person doing on this? I can give you an example. This was when I very first started the consulting business, and I would actually contract with big clubs that were doing poorly. And I'm saying big, I'm talking 30, 40, 50,000 square foot clubs that maybe were doing 0 or 1 or 2 sales. And I'd contract to take them over. And I simply walk in and I do what nobody else is willing to do. All these things we're talking about here. I start making these phone calls. I'd start picking up the phone and talking to folks, and we'd literally be doing 10 sales a day all of a sudden. Okay, because I was following up. I was measuring performance. Okay, I knew what the KPIs were. Okay, these things, they're not as difficult as you might think. What we have to make sure is we have to train our staff to make sure they feel comfortable doing it. Okay, because what happens when it comes to following up, and the reason that when we measure performance, sometimes it's not there, is we're too anxious to make the sale, whereas what we want to be anxious to do is solve the customer's problem, provide a solution for the customer, because by virtue of doing that, you will make the sale. It has to be process driven, but by virtue of doing that, you will make the sale. Number 4 on my list is use technology to simplify what you're doing. Okay, use technology to monitor. And one of the things that I see is with these CRMs, so many clubs, most clubs have them. Some still don't. If you don't, you probably want to get one. Okay, but if you get it, you want to make sure you use it. You want to make sure you understand it. I talk to many clubs that they're paying $200-300 a month, and A, they're not using it. B, they don't understand it. They're not taking advantage of everything that's there. Take the time to do that. The purpose of technology is to make this easier for you. It's not to make it more difficult for you. Get with your rep at whatever group you're with. Make sure you have a complete understanding of it. Okay, I wouldn't take up all my time trying to learn something. Have someone just bring it to me. Here's how you need to do it. Okay, but make sure you're using technology, to simplify this stuff. Number 5, start forecasting sales. Start forecasting sales. For example, what's your goal for the month? As a company, what's your goal for the month? For sales, for cash, for recurring fees. As individual staff members, salespeople, same thing for them. What are those individual things? And every day, we're looking at how many sales did we do? What do we have for the month, and what are we projecting? And how does that projection look against our goal? Okay, because we're going to manage based on those objectives. We're going to manage based on those forecasts. We're forecasting to do 100 new sales. We are projecting 70. Today's the 10th. Okay, what's the plan? We need to get a plan together, because if we keep going down the same path, we're going to miss that goal. We're going to miss that forecast by 30%. Okay, the reason that's important is usually when you forecast that, you've also got expenses that are forecast against it, right? Okay, so start forecasting this. Start managing based on those objectives. And number 6, on 6 steps to improving your gym sales process, increase your sales. A couple things I want to talk about. That's kind of course, right? But increase your sales. A couple things. A, get your expectations up. Get your expectations up. Look for ways to do this. We are in the solutions business. You want to be in the solutions business. Let's don't come up with all the reasons we can't. Let's come up with all the reasons that we can. Now, I'll give you an example, just in terms of improving sales process. Say you got a club, and whatever that club's doing, say you're getting 100 workouts a day. Okay, but we're really not doing a lot of sales revenue. One of the first things I would do, I would turn every one of my customers, those 100 workouts, I'd turn them all into prospects. How do I do that? Well, I might have an add-on special. You can add on a family member for X, and I'm going to promote it. I'm going to talk to everybody. Or I've got an upgrade special. We've got a new Club Elite program, and you can upgrade to that, get more services, more time, more benefits, more value. Now all of a sudden I turn my prospect into a customer. Maybe I'm doing something with personal training or supplements or retail. Okay, but the great thing about the existing operation, in the marketing world, they call it eyeballs, right? You've got eyeballs, to sell to. Okay, we want to increase our sales. One of the great questions that you can constantly be asking yourself is, what I'm doing right now going to result in a sale? Talking to a member on the workout floor, Mary, do you have current guest passes? Well, no, I don't. Great chance to give a referral presentation, get out a couple guest passes, make sure you've got an expiration date. So 6 steps to improving your gym sales process. Take a look. If you're not hitting the numbers or you want to go to a new level, you might have some answers in here. Folks, again, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. I appreciate you being here at the channel today. And if you've not yet done so, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. To learn more about me, learn more about my company and how we can help take your business that next level, be sure to check out those links below. And then again, for you folks who are looking to open a new gym and you need funding, you have an existing gym, you need funding, we can help with funding for up to $400,000 that is unsecured. There's no restrictions on use. Minimum credit score of 680 or better in all 3 credit bureaus. Minimum income of $50,000 per year for each of the 2 previous years. Check out the links below under financing and funding for more information on that program, as well as additional opportunities to help you grow your business and develop from a funding standpoint. So again, my name is Jim Thomas. I appreciate you being here, and we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.